What I love about this cake is that it feels festive, it looks fancy, but every step is totally doable and it tastes delicious. Hi, I'm Deb Perelman and welcome back to the Smitten Kitchen. I am so excited about today's recipe. I created this recipe because I happen to love the flavor of gingerbread. I love a beautiful Yule log, but I have never once, before I did this recipe, saw a Yule log recipe that felt like something I was reasonably going to do. There are so many steps involved in Yule logs, and it's usually a very high level of pastrying involved. You're not going to believe me when you look at the final cake, but when you read through the recipe and you watch me make it, you're going to see that every step is so simple. So here's what we need to make the cake. Dark brown sugar, all-purpose flour, 3 large eggs, sour cream, molasses, kosher salt, baking soda, some nutmeg, cinnamon, ground ginger, and ground cloves. We are going to start by cracking our 3 eggs into a bowl. No shells! I did it! I'm a professional. This is a hand-whisked cake. You don't need any special equipment. We are going to start with half a cup of molasses. If treacle is more available where you are, it's delicious here too. I'm using dark brown sugar, but light brown is fine too. And then we're going to use 3 tablespoons of an ingredient of your choice. You can use sour cream, you could use yogurt, you could use applesauce. It's up to you. I happen to have sour cream, so I'm using that. And we are going to whisk this until it's all incorporated, and you are going to watch this batter turn black so soon. I love it. We are going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda won't just give the cake its lift, it actually darkens it a little bit more. So you're gonna get that really beautiful color we associate with gingerbread. We're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and then we're gonna add our spices. A few gratings of nutmeg, but if you don't have it, it's fine. So we are going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, which really gives it a spicy kick. Does it smell like Christmas yet in here? I feel like it really does. Yay. Half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. We are going to use 1½ teaspoons of ground ginger. So this is good heaped 1½. And we are going to whisk this all together until it's smooth. It's so spicy that like my nose is tingling a little bit. I love it. The last ingredient is the flour. And we're going to sprinkle this across the batter again too. Just like kind of whisk it in slowly. I generally start in the center and I let it pull a little bit at a time off the surface because I'm trying not to get too many lumps. So good. All right. We are going to put this into a jelly roll pan, which you're probably like, what is that? It's a 10 by 15 inch pan that's typically used for these cakes. This has been lined with a larger sheet of parchment. So we're gonna pour it. I'm gonna use my offset spatula to just spread it evenly. This actually bakes for 8 minutes. We have already preheated the oven to 350, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this cake in. One thing you wanna keep in mind with a cake this thin is that maybe you have a very nice oven with extremely even racks. I 100% do not. So I try to rotate it once or twice during the baking time, at least once, and that kind of gives you a better chance of having a level cake at the end. And that's it. This cake is set. You could use a toothpick to check it if you're not sure. My favorite cheat is actually just to put this outside. I mean, it's December, it's probably cold out where you are, so you can kind of speed up cooling it down slightly outside. So this has been cooling. I put it outside for 4 minutes instead of the 5 minutes you would cool it inside. Before we move this out of its tray, I want us to just gently run a knife between the cake and the parchment. Because when we pull it out and the parchment flattens out, if there was a part that was stuck, it'll rip the cake. And that would be very sad. All right, this is the yoink. We're just gonna pull the cake out by the paper and put it on the cooling rack. So while this was cooling, I grabbed some powdered sugar, a little sifter for it. This is actually a tea strainer, but we'll pretend it's a powdered sugar sifter, an extra sheet of parchment paper, and a board. Any kind of baking sheet or tray will work here. The first thing we're gonna do is we are going to fairly generously sift powdered sugar evenly over the cake. We're gonna put the second sheet of parchment paper over this, and then we're gonna put this board over here, or tray, or whatever you're using, on top of the parchment paper. And then we are going to use this to flip the cake onto it. That gave us a solid surface. Now we're going to remove the parchment paper that it baked on. Anything with gingerbread and molasses and a few eggs is going to be sticky by nature. We love it when we're eating it, but I just want to give you a heads up that at every step you want to be super careful because it's going to want to stick to everything. Still very, very warm to the touch. Do you smell it? I'm sending you Christmas. We're going to do one more sifting because we've sifted sugar underneath it and we're going to put it on top now. So the cake is still warm. It really just recently came out of the oven. The reason why we roll our cake before we fill it is we are trying to teach the cake to hold its shape. We're giving it a preview of the shape it's going to hold. We let it cool in this coil, and then when we unroll it to fill it, it takes the shape again with a lot less fighting. I'm actually using that sheet of parchment we flipped it onto to roll this up. Try to start tight. Don't stress. I'm saying this to me, but also you. Once I'm done not stressing, you can also not stress. This is a really forgiving cake. I wanted to have a Yule log that was not something that was going to make us feel more stressed at the holidays. So we're going to wrap it in a towel and we're going to let this finish cooling. This can take, depending on the temperature of your kitchen, anywhere from, it could be over an hour, but you know, I'm going to go cheat and put it outside again, and I bet it'll be done in 30 to 45 minutes. In that time, we're going to make the filling and the cool decoration. The difference between a regular roll cake and a Yule log is the festivity. There's extras. We make it extra fancy. I wanted to have a decoration for the Yule log that looked so cool, but wasn't a tremendous amount of work. So have you heard of YouTube? It's really cool. And I searched for simple Yule log decoration, and I found on this channel called Home Cooking Adventure, which is full of wonderful things, the coolest Yule log decoration I've ever seen. I have 6 ounces of white chocolate chips here, and I'm going to reserve a third of it while I melt it. So the reason why I melt 2/3 of the chocolate and then I add the other 1/3 is I want to keep the chocolate from getting too hot. Once this is fully melted, I can add the rest and it will slowly melt in this the rest of the way, and it'll keep the temperature of the chocolate down so it doesn't split and get oily, which is particularly common with white chocolate. And we're gonna stir until it's all smooth. So I am using a 13 by 18 sheet of parchment paper. It's basically what you would use for a large baking sheet. First of all, I'm gonna drizzle it, and then I'm going to spread it thinly over this whole thing. The size is really not that important. The main thing is that we just want to have a lot of area so it can be fairly thin. We are going to roll this up the same way we rolled up the Yule log, except for one thing. We're going to leave a little hollow in the center. Almost imagine that there's like a paper towel tube in there. We're not going to go totally tight. I'm going to put it in the freezer until it solidifies. It takes about 10 minutes in my freezer. It probably won't take much longer for you. And when it comes out, I can't wait to show you how we use it. Well, the decoration's cooling and the cake is cooling. We are going to make the filling and frosting, which is whipped cream. I'm making a simple whipped cream with 1.5 cups of heavy cream, but it's the holidays. I like to add a little bit of tangy enrichment, and I'm going to do that in the form of creme fraiche. However, if you don't have it, straight whipped cream is fine. I'm just actually eyeballing it from this little scooper, but I basically use about 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. And then I use a little bit of vanilla extract. So our whipped cream's ready, our decoration is cooling, and I think it's time to bring the cake inside and fill it up. Can you? I don't know. Are you going to be helpful? Carefully unroll it. There she is. Even though I know this cake is really forgiving, I always feel like I'm holding my breath when I unroll it because I've made so many cakes that have cracked like crazy. But look, it doesn't crack. It's amazing. We are going to fill the cake with 2/3 of this whipped cream. I'm just going to spread it evenly and then we're going to roll it back up. So now I'm going to use this piece of paper that it's been rolled up in, and I'm going to use it to re-roll the cake as tightly as I can. Now it is extremely common as I re-roll this from the paper, given the sticky, soft, wonderful nature of this cake, that it sticks to the paper. This actually isn't bad, but don't fret if it does. Nobody's gonna see what's not attached to your cake. They're only gonna taste and see this delicious one. I'm gonna try to bump it on to this plate. Ready? Are we gonna do it? Put the seam here. We did it! And I'm basically just going to frost this with the whipped cream. And you can be as messy as you want with it because we are about to cover it with a decoration.
I'm gonna do the decoration.
Oh, well, you're gonna do the decoration, huh? Are you sure?
Yeah. This is just a rolled up cake.
Oh, just a rolled up cake. Now it's just a rolled up cake. Soon it's going to be a majestic beauty. This is the chocolate that we spread on the parchment paper and we rolled up loosely and we chilled it until it was totally solid, which it is. As you unroll the paper, you get these nice long pieces that look exactly like bark when we put them on the log. So what is so cool is as it comes undone, you end up with these awesome long pieces. And I'm gonna show you. We're just gonna start applying these, just kind of breaking them up a little bit and applying them all over the whipped cream. I like to push them right up against each other, and no matter how jagged and weird it looks, I promise it's gonna be so cool when it's done. Second to last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take all these crazy chaotic pieces and we're gonna cover it with a little more snow so it looks a little more festive. These are one of my favorite holiday decorations. They're called sugared cranberries, and within this recipe, I explained to you how to make these. You would probably want to start these a couple hours earlier, and they're not mandatory, but I think they just look so beautiful and festive. What they are is fresh cranberries, and you soak them overnight or just for a couple hours if you have it in a simple syrup. 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. You let them cool in the syrup, drain them, and then you roll it in some granulated sugar. So we just finished the Yule log, and I mean, I think it looks amazing. But my favorite part is we did this whole thing in 90 minutes, and most of it was just waiting. The hands-on parts were so simple with this 1 bowl cake, the awesome white chocolate bark trick that bakes so quickly, simple whipped cream. All right, I'm gonna try it. It's so December-y. It's so Christmassy. I love the spice, the ginger, the cinnamon. It just tastes so uniquely to me like the holidays. I only make it at this time of year, and it tastes so special that way. And these cranberries are tart and crunchy and so good. I really hope you loved this episode because it was one of my favorite ones to film. It's one of my favorite recipes. I want you to make it, and I want you to have this amazing holiday where you just felt like all of your cooking came out delicious and was enjoyable to make and was not stressful. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I hope you liked the episode. I hope you subscribe. We'll be back next week with one more episode this season, and I can't wait to share it with you.